he like loads up, and I'm like, man, this is hitting the shins. It's going straight out. It's freaking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the What the Nuck podcast, the podcast for Canucks fans. Looking a little different today. It's just me and Gunny. I don't think we've done this once before. The vibes are always high. It's always pretty jokes when it's you and I. Dryden talks too much.
He's gonna be hurt when he listens to this.
That's okay. That's okay. But Gunny and I, we're back, and we're here to talk about the week that was for the Vancouver Canucks. We are going to be discussing basically the games and any news around the team. Gunny, let's fire it off with the first game that the Canucks played, which shockingly was on a Tuesday because their schedule is starting to get spaced out. Did you end up watching that game, and what'd you see?
I did, and what I saw was a very exciting game. It was
Mm-hmm.
all the storylines are matching up. It was the Hughes all coming together, the whole family there playing it out, and exciting game. Issue was like it's an exciting game when you're watching as a neutral fan. As a fan of the Canucks, kind of a backbreaker. Like the defense was in shambles that game,
Yeah.
like terrible, looking like last year. That
Yeah.
was the part that really got me. Like it was 6-5 to finish. Like goal scoring was still there. Like I think all the top lines were going off and stuff like that. But the defense, from everyone, top down, was terrible.
Yeah. No, 100%. Um, One thing that I do like, I agree with what you're saying. Defensively, the team just looked awful.
Yeah,
They battled back. I think they were down 3-0, and then four. Or was it 3-0 or 3-1 or
it
something?
was 4-1 and then
5-2,
5-2, 5-2.
and
And
they
then we
made
got
it.
those three quick ones,
Yeah,
and then we did,
5-2.
like we couldn't even get it to OT though.
That's the part that got me the most is the fact that we gave it up with like 33 seconds left, and it was an absolute collapse. I think it was Ian Cole on the ice or whoever it was, but I think Brad scored the over or not the overtime winner, but
Yeah.
the goal in the last minute. There wasn't a Canuck in sight. That was hard to watch, and like the first period in that game was hard to watch.
Oh
And
yeah.
I haven't said that many times this year, but that was the game where I was like, okay, this defense is like it's not good. Like
Yeah, it was like
I don't
peak
know how to.
Tyler Myers and Zadorov. Like they were truly awful that game.
Mhm.
I think the
And
obvious one was that giveaway to Hughes, but still, and then like no
yeah,
one in front.
yeah, there was quite a few times that there was nobody in front, which really surprised me. But then this is what still doesn't make sense about the Canucks. So they come in and they lay an absolute defensive egg against the New Jersey Devils, who they're a good team, sure, and I'm pretty sure they haven't been playing to their standard as of late.
I think they've always been high scoring. I think it's just their
Mhm.
goaltending's pretty.
Pretty
Not gonna be
mid.
too mean, but it's, that was a
Yeah,
big
mid.
Schmidt guy in those last playoffs.
Yeah,
But they're both like terrible,
yeah.
awful.
They needed a guy like Hellebuck. That's what they
Yeah,
should have done.
just quick 8 million. Come on, all right, that's all they cost.
Oh, they're paying Jack Hughes 8 mil. Like their cap savings are through the charts right now, right?
Yeah, in
But
hindsight, like that Timo Meyer, if they didn't do that, because he's that guy's invisible. Do not see him.
I was gonna call him mid, but I haven't watched the Devils enough.
Mid. That's
Um,
the one game I watched, and he
yeah,
was non-existent.
no. Um, I agree with that. Back to my point of like this team don't I never know what to expect is they lay an absolute defensive goose egg against the Devils, and it's a big game. It's something about big games this year that Vancouver just seems to choke away. Um, but they lay the egg, and then they come out against Minnesota, and Minnesota historically has played us physical. Now, honestly, not just us. Minnesota's a physical team. Like that's a big boy team right there.
Always been
Um,
Minnesota hockey. I
Dude,
hated them ever since that play-in series.
the bubble, yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Um, so my thing is, you get shelled against the Devils. The defense is not up to par. Obviously, the Minnesota Wild offense is probably not as good as the Devils, but they come in and I know it's a Casey dismissed shutout, but the team gets a shutout and they play sound defensively. And it's starting to turn into one of those things where it's like, dude, is consistency a problem? Do you think consistency might be a problem, or do you think it's just like, as Taka would say, like growing pains?
I think it comes down to we were talking about like the schedule. He was playing 26 minutes. There was a little bit of like, we were winning a lot, so it came in, but now that we're on the win loss, win loss, win loss kind of thing. We're more critical of the team. Their that schedule tired them out.
Yeah,
Losing Susi and then Tyler Myers, like and Zadorov just being up and down. I think
yeah,
it's a lot of things adding up, but it is a concern.
yeah,
Like it's something that needs to be addressed. But like, is it just addressed by Susie coming back? So then it's like, does it need to be addressed at all? But
yeah.
by the way, the Minnesota game, I'm dead serious. I literally turned it on and then passed out. Like through the entire, I woke up to a Besser breakaway. He missed, and I fell right back asleep.
He hit the post.
Yeah, yeah, it was a close one.
He hit the
I
post.
woke up for that. That was it, and then I was like Besser, and then nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good. Maybe that would have quelled all my issues, but I just don't think we're up to like where we were at the beginning of the year.
Mhm. Well, at the start of the Minnesota game, Casey DeSmith just held us into it. Like we were getting caved in by the Wild. The Wild were all over us, and he held his ground. And I think that probably reassured the guys a little bit that like, hey, like let's go here, let's go here. Quickly on you saying you slept through the whole game. Yesterday's game against the Hurricanes, the third period, I was knighted. I think I fell asleep with like 10 minutes left in the intermission, and then when I woke up, dude, and it was like the post game, like Brock Besser's with
That's
Tomlinson, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, what the happened?
it didn't look like the score and stuff like that. I figured even we won. You could tell from Besser's big happy face though that we won that.
Yeah, no, I think I woke up from my slumber like uh on Pedersen's
Slumber.
wraparound. Yeah, on his wraparound goal. He's like
We were
Pedersen
out in
wraps.
sleep.
Yeah, bro. Um, but I they lay the egg against the Devils. I have nothing bad to say about the Wild game. And then they come in and Carolina Hurricanes. I feel like they're one of those teams. It's another Edmonton. They're a Cup favorite coming into this year, and it's another
Yes,
team where it just hasn't clicked.
it's the goaltending on them as well. I don't know what it is with these teams. Like that, every little. I think three of the top five cup favorites, like their goaltending has absolutely just been abysmal. Like shit the bed.
Is it
So
because Freddie Anderson's hurt? It's got to be
I don't
right.
know how they're doing before then, but like I know like Ranta and I'm a what Coach Tivisov, something like that.
Kochetkov,
Peter. Yeah, there we go.
yeah,
He's
Kochetkov,
yeah, I picked him on my fantasy. He just got shelled for 5. Like they've been
yeah,
getting absolutely decimated. Like that's why I bet the over in that game right away
hmm
because they can score, which is like good for them. And Svech
yeah,
is doing bad as well. So
hmm
I don't really know what the hell Carolina's deal is. They always felt like such a boring team to me for some reason. Like they have that stud defense, and then
yeah.
outside of that, it's like just don't care.
I think that's another problem this year is for the Hurricanes. It's like they've always been touted as like probably like the best defensive team in hockey. You know, they've always had those like big names on the back end, and this year the guys just aren't playing up to par. And I think that's what's really affecting their whole overall. I remember watching them years past. Um, their whole team defense was
And that was the
like
thing, yeah.
crazy good. And then when we were playing them yesterday, I was seeing things that I've never seen the Carolina Hurricanes do, and I was surprised. I'm pretty sure Tyler Myers made an inside outside move on one of them, and I was like, excuse me, like that should not be happening right there. Settle down, bud.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with them. Maybe it is just like it's the first 2 months or 3 months actually. And honestly, you're getting out of the excuse of it's like early season. If you still got problems now,
Hmm.
yikes. So I think goaltending also really would help if they had an actual good goaltender. Like even if Ranto's playing good, like you can't ride that guy the whole way. He gets injured way too often. So I don't actually know what their plan is. I think the goalie sweepstakes this year are going to be very interesting. Like a trade deadline,
Hmm.
like I could see someone overpaying for like Capo Kakinen or something like that just to save the season.
Would you trade the Smith for like a third
No, if we were out of
in
the
a playoff?
playoffs,
No, if we were
oh
in
no,
the playoff.
absolutely not. We can't.
What about for a second? if we were in the
No,
playoffs.
no, we can't trade him. We were not in the mood like, "Oh, like, I mean, if a first,
What if
maybe,
somebody
probably
yeah, well, I was about to
a
say,
first, then I'm
what if
gonna."
somebody offers you a first for Casey DeSmith at the deadline, and we're also
Well,
in the
who would?
playoffs? Dude, there's gonna be some
Well,
teams because it seems like more than I'm not saying like, oh, Casey DeSmith for a first, but like on the point of like their goaltending, Carolina's goaltending hasn't lived up to it, and New Jersey's goaltending hasn't lived up to it. I feel like over half the league is currently searching for goaltenders.
yeah, I think the save percentage is, like, tanked this year.
It's brutal, and even like I love Demko to death, and his save percentage and everything over like his first 10 games was crazy. His goals against was crazy. I think I saw like over his last 10, he's allowed like 32 goals or something. So even he's coming back down to earth, but he's still playing great. Like he made some absolutely crucial saves against the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, his
I think
cross crease is still insane.
you see our little buddy.
There, you were talking about him. Bradley's got
Yeah.
a Thatcher on his screen right now.
It's my dog. His name's Thatcher. Okay, buddy, go over there. Go over there. Um, but if I'm honestly really talking like about the whole team in general, after we finally won 2 games in a row, we finally
That's a
did it
big one.
after however
10,
long, after
10
10,
straight.
10, 10 straight back and forths, man. Winning 2 in a row, maybe that's what this team needs to finally get over the hump. Do you view this team as like? Do you think they can pick up a streak here, especially against the competition that they have coming up?
Yeah. I don't think we are as good as we were at the beginning of the season, and I don't think we are as bad as we have been during our stretches, but,
Yeah.
like, our bad stretches. I think but that comes into the issue of consistency, right? You wanna
Hmm.
be able to string up a bunch of wins and stuff like that. You wanna be able to have your guys on every single night, like well, like, we can talk about the top 6 at this point. Like,
Hmm.
the Hogline looks great up there. He's had a few shifts with them, and he's looked amazing. Sam Lafferty's looked amazing. I genuinely really liked him. That Mikheyev, honestly, too. I know Drydy's not here. Drydy, for some reason, like he's not hating Mikheyev. He doesn't want Mikheyev on that top. He would rather get like Kuzmenko still. Of course, he's a huge
I got
Kuzmenko guy,
Connor
but
Garland. That's
I
who he
don't
wants
think.
on the
No,
freaking
he does
top
not.
line.
That's
Connor
maybe
Garland?
Jasu. Maybe Jasu wants him up there.
No,
That's the
Drydy's the
only one I
biggest
can think of.
Connor Garland homer. I hate I hate him. I don't
Connor
even
Garland's the number one
the worst
fan.
part is Drydy's making me not like Connor Garland. Like I used to like him. And then Drydy was just riding this guy. I called on the last pod. I don't know if you listened to it. But on the last pod, I called Connor Garland the third best forward on his line. And he was not having it.
That's that is blasphemous. Come on. You
It was a little bit because I just don't I there was a couple games in a row where I felt like he had some grade A chances and he just tried to make an extra move and it just didn't work out. And then it was also because it's Drydy and whatever I say, especially
gotta
about Connor
disagree with
Garland.
the guy.
Yeah, yeah, you
Speaking of
can't.
making too many moves, though, Kuzmenko,
Mm,
dear
yes,
God, he was on the fourth line, right? Him and PDG. Who's
him,
centering them? Is it Bluger?
Amon. No, no, Amon, because it's Bluger, Joshua, and
Oh yeah, because
Garland.
Suter's out. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Anyways, yeah, tough. I like he's like talking sick and tired of talking about it. So not gonna get any more sound bites from him. He wants him to forecheck and stuff like that. But it's, like, so the most glaring thing every game, though, is just how much he overthinks it every time he's got the puck on his string on his stick, and he just
yeah,
tries to do a dangle or he tries to do something instead of just shooting it, like, he's one of the commentators have called him out on it, everyone's called him out on it, so
yep. He
and he's
does.
been scratched. Didn't really
Yeah,
come back strong after that either. Teams are calling? Like, that's
yeah.
just
It's a buy low type thing, you know.
yeah, doing their due diligence. You think we're listening?
Probably. I think I honestly think we'd probably listen on every player that's not PD, Miller, Hughes, or Demko.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, you
That's
think
just
they're actively gonna shop because like for a
if
defenseman? You think like they're like, okay, well maybe we'll just toss Kuzmenko somewhere?
I think if the right deal comes along, I think if they can find a deal for a defenseman and they have to clear cap, then I think they probably go like sell low on Kuzmenko. But otherwise, like the league knows what he's capable of. Like at the end of the day, maybe he's not forward checking, but he still has like almost 20 points in like 26 games. Like he's having a good year.
Is
It's
he
not that
actually?
here I can double check how many stats he has. Majority assists, I think,
Oh yeah, no,
but
I can almost guarantee he doesn't have the goals.
he has like
Like
3 or 4 goals last time I checked. I need you to fill
it's
some time here so I can.
guy's boomer when it comes to using his phone. That top line though with PD, obviously they've been picking up as well because he's been like top 10 in the league in points this whole time. We still say he's not looking that good, but he
Yeah.
looked amazing last game. Mikheyev, the whole thing doesn't have finish was when he coming from Toronto. But that was a nice little stick check on. I think it was on Brat, maybe I can't remember.
Hmm.
But he like moves his stick out of the way and then puts it in. And PD obviously had the great pass across. So I think that line is sticking together.
Hmm.
I don't
Because.
think Kuzmenko. I don't see him ever being on the Besser Miller line because once again that line is built for forechecking, and they're absolutely not like Besser. That Besser goal to Miller in
Hmm.
Carolina, like that, him fighting behind the net and then coming out right away, tape to Miller, hits it, bombs it. Besser just wow, can't say
I
enough good things about this guy.
hold on.
As
I
one of
lied.
his
I,
biggest believers.
okay, hold on. I lied about Kuzmenko. He has 15 points.
Yeah,
So,
there we go. Makes a lot more sense.
but in my defense, he had like 15 points in 20 games, like 5 games ago. So, you
He's been getting scratched
know,
and stuff like that. So,
he
and he's like fourth line. He's what was his? You got a stats there? How many minutes is he getting now?
I think last time I checked, it was about less than 15.
Less than 15. Okay, sounds like it's not
Hmm.
less than 10, I guess.
He I don't know if they showed it in the highlight package, but he had a grade A chance to get off the like little slump, and it just didn't work out for him. I think Vancouver's passing still a little way too much on their power play. It looks sick, like that
Looks
pass to Besser.
nasty. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that pass
Oh,
to
I needed him
Besser
to score that, but yeah,
was
that was a
was absurd. But dude, at certain points, I'm like, shoot the puck. And you know who's pissing me off because he's shooting the goddamn puck is Quinn Hughes. I don't remember the last time he got a shot through. I'm getting frustrated, man. He like loads up, and I'm like, man, this is hitting the shins. It's going straight out. It's freaking brutal. And I can say that because Quinn Hughes had one of his most terrible games against the Carolina Hurricanes. Just
yeah.
absolutely awful, awful game. And I don't blame him, bro. Like he's been getting milked all year. He's allowed to have one of those games, but at that point, you got to recognize you're not on. Put Give the puck to somebody else.
His defense has been lacking as well as the issue.
Hmm. He's been getting like slugged off pucks like quite a bit. It's crazy.
Yeah, puck just going through him and stuff like that. Like, those top guys though, like Miller, Petey, and Hughes, those guys I don't worry about when they're hitting
No.
slumps or anything like that. You'll know they'll figure it out, and they and their slump is like still leading the league in points. So I'm
Yeah,
never gonna. I'm glad that their slumps are like that. It's not like Tyler Myers, ups and downs, because that guy has high highs and low lows.
Tyler Myers. How many? He probably had a stretch where he was on the ice for like 6 games in a row. He was on the ice for the game-winning goal. With
What
just
a
how
man!
bad, just how bad. I think we do have to give props to a guy that we probably don't talk about enough on this podcast, and that's JT Miller. We always talk
Yeah,
about
true.
PD, we talk about Hughes, we talk about Brock, and we talk about Demko. I think JT Miller is currently the team's number one center. And the fact that this guy is an absolute like when was the last time we had a power forward of like his caliber? Like I
Like
don't
Kessler.
remember. Ryan Kessler. And I
Yeah,
remember I was watching the Chicklets podcast and or I think it was the Chicklets podcast, but they were saying like or it might have been Kevin Bieksa or somebody just oh no, it was Ryan Whitney on the Chicklets podcast and he said JT Miller reminds him of Ryan Kessler.
yeah. I was gonna say I've heard the comparison multiple
Yeah.
times, and it makes sense too, right?
It's true, yeah.
Passionate guy, absolute beast. That guy. Oh, like seriously, imagine like a year ago right now. Oh, you could find the clips, man. I was begging for him to leave. I hated it. I was done. We messed up, traded the wrong guy and all that, but he is what an absolute performance he's had this season. Even starting from the end of last season, like he has been absolutely going off. And
Mhm,
it's not just the offense, it's the defense, it's the hitting, it's everything. That guy's the complete player out there.
mhm. Facts. He in his 99 point season, I think I saw JPat say this, but in his 99 point season, he had 28 points after 27 games. This year, he's got 40 points after 27 games.
Yeah,
Like he,
he's
I'd be shocked if he doesn't hit the 100 point mark.
yeah. I don't see him slowing down, and like him and Bess have just found in like who like we always said like Petey and Besser we thought would be through and through together. Like I never even thought of Besser being with Miller until
Hmm.
when they got together. Like I know they had the lotto line, but those two without Petey have an absolute oof. Like that's why the top six looking like the top six. Because even when
Yeah,
Petey was on his little slump, if you want to call it that, like they were absolutely firing on all cylinders. And leading the team too.
yeah,
When we talk
yeah,
about that forecheck, like you're seeing Miller and Besser every shift giving it in, going off, going as hard
yeah,
as they can against the top lines, against top matchups, and that has been an absolute difference maker. So yeah, Miller should definitely get his flowers every pod.
yeah. Yeah, that line's absurd, and like I think you were saying it earlier, the addition of Hoglander on that line has made it just look so much faster, bro. It looks so good. Like Hoglander's always going to be the guy who gets into the dirty areas, and I like that he's like a little rat. Like he is a little bit of a rat, and I do think every team needs like a little rat, you know.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I think those three just especially complement each other so well. I do wonder, and I do want to get your opinion on this. You look at the top six, and you still, it's Miller, Hoglander, Besser, Mikheyev, Pedersen, Lafferty.
Yeah.
I still feel like you should go out and you should get another top six forward because I love Lafferty and what he's doing on that line, and I think it's great. Um, but I wouldn't mind a more established top six player. Do you agree or do you
Yeah,
disagree?
well, it'd be nice obviously to get an extra top six
Mhm.
guy. Get like a I don't even know who's on the market right now. Mikael Granlund. You want to grab that guy? He
I'd
looks
rather have
absolutely
Sam Lafferty.
that guy looks absolutely goaded right now. But I yeah, it'd be nice to get a top six. Should we go and get one?
No.
Probably not. I'd much rather shore up the defense because like the thing is we could say it's a Susie injury, but like we're gonna get injuries no matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah,
We need you need like pretty much eight capable, and it's ever since we are maybe priced out by of the Ethan Bear sweepstakes.
yeah. That's another topic to discuss. I heard Washington might be the front runner for him.
Yeah, why? He's got good comedic timing.
This
I
guy.
just don't know why Washington would be in the sweepstakes. So what are they doing?
Um, I I don't know, dude. It's the same thing that we said with Nashville. Like, you like rebuilding or what are you doing? But I I,
Nashville?
I
Yeah.
hope. Hey, man, Ethan Bear's in Kelowna right now. We could go track him down. Hey, man, please, we need
Hey,
you.
hey, yo, just take
Yeah,
a
man.
million pay cut, man. It's all good.
Just win a
Sign
cup
bottom
with
line.
us. Yeah, win a cup with us, then you can sign 10 by 10. It's all good, man. But that one's kind of a tough pill to swallow, especially because everything that we've read and like heard about since he got injured is Vancouver's the front runner for the Ethan Bear sweepstakes.
I
And
didn't even know we were
now,
front runners. I just thought it was almost a guaranteed come to us. I didn't even know there
yeah,
were bidding
well,
wars.
well, who? I don't think anybody could have predicted the fact that like a guy coming off an injury would like garner so much interest from other teams. Like
It
that's
just kind of
just
yeah, it just goes to show how like hard it is to get defense.
yeah,
And like
true.
so many teams need that as well. I just don't know why Washington is the one that's gonna go out and pick him up. Like I'm sure they could use help on their defense, but they could use help everywhere.
I mean, who else? Who else? The Washington, I'm assuming, has a decent amount of cap space, right? So,
Not a pun. Cap space.
um, cap space. What was I? I don't even remember what that's like. The day Vancouver's sitting there at like the floor of the cap, I'm like
Never.
shocked. You
We would
don't.
sign up. I don't think that's the one thing, Accolade. I think he just loves paying for it.
He loves not having as much money as he possibly can.
All right, he gets you on the beers. I think Nate was just at the
That's
Carolina game, by the way.
yeah. I
I
saw
think
that.
Nate's
I
been
saw
to
that
every single
story.
good game. He always gets them.
That's such cheese, but good for him. The Montreal game, I still will never ever get over that because that's probably the
We
craziest game you could
You
go
guys
to.
got that Colorado game as well.
Yeah, the Colorado game was
like
pretty
3
sick.
eight.
But
Yeah,
I'll say
Derek
this:
Pouliot game winner as always.
I'd rather go to the Montreal game just considering like talent that was on the ice. Like I watched Marcus Granlund score and Derek Pouliot. You know,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That
um,
was Petey's
I'm
5-point night, though. You got to see
yeah.
that.
PD's 5.9. We got to see the Besser bank pass. That was pretty freaking nuts.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
PD to Besser, and I think the way he banked it was like towards us, like we were behind the Colorado net. So like he
Oh,
banked it, and then we saw Besser skating down and fucking. Oh, it was pretty nuts.
Bessie
Um,
looked at you. It was
Besser
amazing.
looked at me, winked. I was like, oh
Oh, okay, okay.
shit,
Get us back on
shit.
track, Chief. Come on. This is your game.
Um, I'm trying to think about just any other news around the Canucks.
Around the Canucks.
Uh, Around the Canucks. Well, I feel like there's one more topic that we're probably missing, unless
That's
on
why Dridey writes it down every time, so we don't have to
yeah,
be on the
but
pod thinking.
Dridey's not here. Dude, my dog is trying so hard to get on camera here.
Yeah,
Relax,
guys, a little diva. We can talk about
relax.
you see Eric Gabranson. That's
Oh,
Canucks adjacent news.
yeah,
He got
I saw
boarded.
that.
I don't know who he got boarded by. He goes down like I guess like I think they were calling over the trainers because they
Hmm.
thought he was like knocked out because he got boarded hard,
Yeah,
and then he just gets up and mauls the guy. It was
yeah.
Cousins.
Nick Cousins. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
he
then
mauls.
he got absolutely freak. I miss him. I do miss him sometimes. Branson was always just a fun guy to watch play
Yeah, I was a
hockey.
huge Gabranson guy. But anyways, that he so he mauls him, and then you see that later on, he goes for a hit, like just bear hugs, throws Cousins to the ground, and just starts wailing on him.
Yep.
Like, oh, what an absolute
Gut,
mess of a game.
Gutty. I remember. Do you remember? Oh shit! What was his name? There
You
was
remember?
It was a game against Tampa Bay, and some guy hit Troy Stetcher like right in the head, and
Wasn't it Sergachev?
it wasn't Sergachev. It was some like no name
Okay.
scrub, like whatever, like whatever his name is. Hits him right in the head. The guy goes off for two, and then you know, Tampa Bay kills the penalty. They clear the puck down the ice. This guy just steps out of the box, and he's like going down, and Vancouver ends up getting the icing, and Gutty just shoots the puck towards this guy, and then Jake Virtanen like walks up and he like pushes him against the glass, and then I don't know if you've seen it, but like Gutty like it's scrum going on, he rips his helmet off and he just gives him like the gnarliest cheap shot I've ever seen. Like there was so much force behind it.
That is one player. Like when I first saw the Cousins thing, I saw the Gabranson hit throwdown first. So I was like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with Gabranson? Like
Yeah,
what did this man do to him? And then I saw what the man did to him. So it was
there
pretty
you go.
fair. But
Sure, yeah,
absolute, that's not, yeah, that's one guy you don't want to mess with. He will
yeah,
he will fight.
he will rock you, dude. Um, he's probably gonna get suspended, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's getting
That's on the
suspended.
reps though. Apparently they
Yeah,
did a 2 minute afterwards as well. Like they should have made it 5.
yeah,
He's probably still gonna bash him regardless. So I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Gotti would have probably still bashed him, but
Policing the game because the refs won. Um, David Perron facing a pretty hefty suspension for his cross check.
what did he do?
You didn't see that?
Who do you
It
cross
was
check?
I think it's David Perron. He's on the wings, and he basically there's something happened out front in front of the net. Dylan Larkin got knocked out, and
Oh, okay.
then David Perron walked up and he two like just straight cross checked Artem Zub like right in the mouth, and Zub went down. And it's a whole thing right now, and I think this Perron is now scheduled for an in person hearing,
So it's
so
gonna be what, like a big
it's going to
like
be
it's probably it's gonna, yeah, I'm
five
watching it right
plus.
now as we speak. But I'll just say it right now that David Prawn is so underrated though.
Oh,
That's an
so
absolute
underrated.
stud to pick him up.
Great offensive player, absolute piece of shit on the ice.
Oh yeah.
That's why I respect him.
Wait, so Larkin got injured and then he did his shit?
Yeah, yeah. Larkin got injured, and then Perron laid a cross check into Zub's head.
No, okay. Let's see this. Oh yeah, Larkin's out. Damn, he's like out. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, yeah, so I see why that's a suspension. He went stick first.
5 plus. Like You're done, bud. You're done.
Has he got suspended before? He has a history?
Probably it's David Perron.
Yeah,
Hey,
well, you never know.
he's a pretty big scoundrel guy. I gotta be honest.
Who's our scoundrels? You know, I always like seeing the guys around the league. Like Jonah Gadovich is in Florida, and he's like fighting every other game or something. Like
That's
the
a
guy just goes out there to throw.
former Canucks prospect. I think we lost him on waivers.
He went to San Jose. Was it off waivers?
I think so. It was either waivers or a trade, but
Anyways,
Gadjevich.
that man looked 30 years old. Like he had the big beard. That's what I remember. That he finally
Yep.
called him up. He's everything you want in a fourth line guy that you just called up. Just love
Big
to fight.
beard and tough, bro. That's you Gadjevich's freaking mo. Who? What else? I feel like there is some more news from around the league.
I'm gonna
Just
sit here while you
oh,
wait.
there we go. Connor McDavid's back. The boy is back.
Oh yeah,
That's one thing we should probably talk about is the
the Oilers
Edmonton
are back.
Oilers are
Honestly,
yeah, the Edmonton Oilers are streaking. Unfortunately for the Edmonton Oilers, they're still like 12 points back of Vancouver.
oh yeah.
So,
Well, that's what it always was, right? That they had to. They have a huge deficit to come up. Like I think I was saying they're gonna miss playoffs, but at this point, the way they're playing, they don't plan to miss playoffs.
no. No. And I think dude, I remember saying I was like I still think Edmonton makes playoffs. Like
You guys
that
were all
team,
saying that.
yeah, that team there's no way Connor McDavid can miss the playoffs, especially with guys like McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Bouchard who sucks defensively but is a pretty big menace on the offensive side. I'm going to quickly look
Buffon is pretty exciting. I'll
I'm
give
gonna
him that.
look at the standings, and yeah, we're 12 points up on the Oilers. The Oilers have 3 games in hand.
Do they?
What the
Yeah, so
heck
they worked us
is
like
that?
dogs. I wish Dridie was here for this. By the way,
20
Dridie really wants. He wanted to. You wanted. I don't think we did talk about Kuzmenko, but do you think Kuzmenko should they should put him back in the top six, or does he have to like stay on that fourth line for a while?
I think I don't think he's earned a spot in the top 6, but I also don't think somebody in the top 6 has like lost their spot, if you get what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, I get that.
Mikheyev's not played bad. Mikheyev's been playing good, and Sam Lafferty looks like a great addition. Like once again, Sam Lafferty is providing to that line what Hoglander is providing to Miller and Besser, in the fact that it just makes the line look so much faster, having guys that can just go coast to coast like that.
No, absolutely. I think Mikheyev is a lock for our top six. I think he's
Yeah,
always been. I don't
yeah,
think he's ever going to be the one that's going to get shifted down or anything like that. Who
no,
knows? It could happen. It's obviously either Sam Lafferty. Maybe they try him with Miller and Besser, like just to see if something clicks. He's back on the
mhm,
power play though, so
yeah,
I think it is more that Lafferty looks really good on that top six. So it's like keep him up there if he's going to keep popping off like that. While
yeah,
they do want Kuzmenko to eventually come back there because they gave him the power play spot back.
yeah. It's at the end of the day, you got to go with what's working best at that time, and Kuzmenko just wasn't working, and maybe down the line he can, but it's also nice having a guy like Kuzmenko. Obviously, you want him in the top 6, but he adds that extra flair to the fourth line. Whereas now it's just like the other team really does have to deal with a guy has more skill than like anybody can comprehend. And
And the grinder PDG down there.
PDG and Nil Zaman, who's just an absolute menace. Like the guy's massive and he skates so well. Like I really like the way this Canucks team is built for sure. I just hope that like we can start rattling off wins now. Like I really really want to see it.
Yeah, so I'll look ahead into our schedule. So was Suter there last game?
He
I know he was
wasn't.
skating.
He was skating. He was in practice in a non-con. No, he wasn't
Yeah,
in a non-contact.
I thought he was in a regular jersey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
he's
so we're
big
finishing
chance.
up the homestand with Florida coming down,
Oh yeah.
Lightning, and then Panthers, and then we do a big run at the Central, big road trip against the Wild, Blackhawks, Predators, and Stars.
Mm-hmm. When are we
So
playing the
overall,
Avs? I want a
uh,
rematch against those Colorado Avalanche. I hate them. I don't even hate the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado Avalanche fans are making me hate the Colorado Avalanche.
they just you have issues with them on Twitter, rightfully
They're,
so, because apparently they beef.
they're just
February
annoying.
20th is our next game against the Avs.
Oh yeah, no, they're chalked. We're beating them.
They're done for. How are they doing this year? I know McCarr's obviously
Um,
doing insane, but Like, is there who are like the Rangers? But like Igor's been having like he's been getting shelled every once in a while. There's no like maybe because Boston last year was so dominant. Like I'm not seeing any team that are like straight up head and shoulders running
Color
amok.
Colorado Avalanche are 16-9-2, so they're doing pretty well.
Okay, doing worse than us.
Yeah,
Fucking
but they're still
plugs.
doing well. Surprisingly doing well, the
No,
Philadelphia
very good.
Flyers.
They'll go back down.
Oh,
Like,
100%. If you're really looking, I'm looking at the Metro, New York lock, like the Rangers are a lock, the Islanders not a lock, Capitals not a lock, Devils, I'd say they're a lock. Pittsburgh, Columbus, and I honestly don't know if the Carolina Hurricanes are a lock. Like if you have to call a players only meeting this early into the season, like
you
there's
think
something
oh Ford
seriously
on the
wrong.
Western Canada road trip? Also, is it Western? Wait, is there a new name for it now? The Seattle's also part of it.
Just the West, Northwest,
Pacific Northwest. Old
Pacific. Yeah,
Northwest Division. That was growing up. That was what we had. The OGs, us in Colorado, the
mhm.
only good teams in that.
Yep.
Anyways,
Um,
but I don't think. I was gonna say also, Flyers will go down, and Pittsburgh needs to do something about their power play. Like that is
yeah.
shocking to me. If we
Well,
want to roast that for a
are
sec,
they 0 for 36? Is what I saw.
it keeps going up depending
Oh,
on
it
how many
just
games
keeps
they
it
play.
keeps going.
It's 11 or 12 games straight now. Like I think the
Do you
record's like 0-51.
do you know from the top of your like just off your head like who's on that power play? Because I know it's
Yeah,
Carlson, I know it's Crosby, I know it's Malkin. Is it Letang?
it's Gensel.
Okay, so Gensel's the fourth, and who's the fifth?
I don't know. Maybe they'd rock. Or is Ricardo Racal there? I know he's doing absolutely
It's
awful.
it's got to be Letang. My money's on Letang.
Are they running a two? I don't think it's Letang. If you're putting your
Dude,
money there,
well,
let me
here's the
see.
thing. Well, Carlson's basically a forward.
It's Letang. It's
Oh,
Letang. Yeah.
there it is. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
Carlson's basically a forward. Like
They. Oh yeah, Riley Smith. They
Carl's
got.
Carlson's
Do they
right
even
shot,
have Ricardo
Letang's
Racal?
right shot. Yeah,
Is he injured? Or like he's not on there. Like is he scratched? Oh no, he's injured. There we go. Brian Rust is. They just have like I don't want to get too much into Pittsburgh, but
yeah,
you'd think they after the Carlson thing they would be doing better. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Who knows? But I don't think they're a cup contender.
I agree. I yeah, it sucks though because man, seeing Crosby in the playoffs and even Ovechkin in the playoffs is always just such a fun time. But it's to the point that they've had success for so long that like rightfully so, bro. Like come back down to earth. Your team's
Yeah,
not good.
cupboards are bare. They got nothing to offer, so there'll be decade probably darkness there.
No.
Uh, are you worried about your OV bet with me?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. That guy is he's not scoring.
He's I know he's not scoring, but the fact that he's less than 100 goals away, I'm not worried at all.
You're not worried.
OV's no, because I also think OV's gonna play until he breaks it. Whether it takes 20 more years at this rate or 2 more years.
5 goals a season. I'm just saying, like, there's more worry now, like, because it seemed like he was just gonna be rocking 30 goals, 40 goals,
Mhm.
but now it's like, it could just be a slump too.
That team is fucking dog shit. I gotta be honest. There's
What?
nothing good about that team. If Ovi, obviously he's not going nowhere. He's gonna retire a capital. But man, oh man, if that team was better, I guarantee Ovi would be at like 14 goals minimum this year.
Yeah, well, they just have no one. Like Kuznetsov doesn't care. Like he's done. He's absolutely given up on it. Dylan
I
Strome's actually popping off for him.
Dylan Strome's sick. I saw a play where Ovi gets the 1T and he decides to pass it out front. Tom Wilson just has an absolute empty net and it doesn't go in. And I was like, this
Oh,
is the type of yeah,
Tom Wilson been doing good though.
no, he's been doing good, but I'm like, that should have went in. Like Ovi's got no help minus Tom Wilson and
Yeah, true.
Dylan Strome. But like, is John Carlson? I don't know if he's injured or if he just forgot how to play hockey. They don't have a freaking
Guy lost
goaltender.
a piece of his skull, man. Relax.
Did he?
Yeah, he was a good dude. He got smoked by the puck last year.
Oh, okay.
You
See,
don't
that's what
remember?
I mean. Injured. I don't remember.
No, he still
Raz.
plays, dude. Like he got like a shot off the dome. Like I think it literally took a chunk off him.
Ugh. Rasmus Sandin. Like that's been a failed attempt. Like, he's not
I
playing good.
love when we just start a pod and there's just random team that we just fucking roast. Like, I don't even know how it chose to be Washington, but they do deserve it.
No, facts, facts.
They won their cup. Nick Dowd
It
got 2 goals. They won today.
Who'd they beat?
Powerhouse Chicago Blackhawks.
Damn. Damn, you wanna hear something catastrophic? In the,
Awesome.
Dunsworth League, I was at work and
Our fancy hockey league.
mhm, I quickly picked up, William Eklund, and then a minute before game time, out, injured.
Yeah, I could bet you about Yahoo. They just never tell us properly. It seems surprising if they do it before the game. Sometimes they do it during the game, like 7 minutes into the game. They're like, "Yeah, this guy's not playing, by the way."
I'm like, "Oh, nice, 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 nice." Is there anything else you wanna talk about before I wrap this up?
If there's anything, I think I just want to see some consistency out of the Canucks. That's the main thing. The pieces are all there.
Mhm.
M- Maybe we make a big trade. Maybe we just wait it out to get Susie. So I'm still full trust in the team. There's no questions asked, especially management and the coaching.
Yeah,
So I think the players just get it, get a little consistency, and then. But I don't want to be struggling for playoffs in March at this point. I know it's kind of greedy to ask, but I don't want to be in a playoff race. I don't. My heart can't handle that.
yeah, I agree. I actually don't think they will be. I think their schedule's gonna lighten up now, and there's gonna be a lot more breaks in between games and stuff like that. So I honestly think we're on to a good second half of the season. Like, I think they're gonna do fine.
All
All
right, you
right,
heard it here first.
you heard it here. I'm trying to think. I got nothing. I don't
Okay.
remember the outro.
Oh, I was gonna
I'm,
say,
I'm
Brady always writes it
kidding.
down.
I'm
You remember the outro? Go
kidding.
for it.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you did enjoy, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are watching this. And if you are listening on one of our audio platforms, please leave a like, any type of rating or a comment, and share with your friends, share with Canucks fans. You can follow our TikTok at What the Nuck Pod. I don't remember. Is it at What the Nuck Pod? No, it's
I
at
don't
What the
know.
Nuck. You can follow our TikTok at What the Nuck. You can follow our Instagram and Twitter, aka X, at What the Nuck Pod. Um, yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.